I started talking a little bit about generational curses, and I wanted to bring up another subject that's a generational curse as well. And I'm going to introduce this with a question. How can a person require their children and their family members to be pure if they're sexually immature? Yes, sexual immaturity is a generational curse. Yes, I'm going there this morning. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for your support of the channel. I really do appreciate it, and I see the growth, and I hope my content helps someone. Generational curse, sexual immaturity. You guys probably have already painted the picture. This is a situation where you have a matriarch or a patriarch that just has no control over their hormones and they think it's okay. It's because of an example that was presented to them, or it could be some kind of twisted religious doctrine that it's okay for them to spread their legs or pull out their member and just go ahead and just have sex with everybody all the time. And more than likely, these people, and I hate to say this, they received some kind of abuse as a child, or they witnessed abuse, and they received a message in their mind that it's okay to behave this way without any consequence. And now they're bringing people into the world, most of them they either couldn't afford, weren't in the mindset to handle. And I'm talking about these types of people that don't have one or two kids, or three. These are the type of people that have 1, 2, or 3 in their house, and they have 1, 2, or 3 in another house, 1, 2, or 3 in another house, because they have no control, because they think that's what they're supposed to do, because they're human, because of whatever trauma they encountered as a child, witnessed to, or whatever that sets off that thing in their brain that the minute that they became sexually aware that they're supposed to just give themselves away to everybody. And let's just say hypothetically some years pass and they do change their ways. See, karma is going to occur no matter what. If you change your ways, fine. But if you change your ways to the point where you're spiritually enlightened, you do have to understand that you have to suffer some karma for what you did in your past life if you hadn't done it yet. You got to take that this is part of taking that dark walk of the soul, is embracing the karma that you're giving. That's part of the walk. So you're not quite where you need to be as far as spiritual awakening is concerned. You're awakened, but you ain't woke yet. You're not at the end of the yellow brick road, Dorothy. You're not. You can see the wizard's house, but you can't knock on the door yet. You still got a ways to go. The wizard's house looks nice, but you still got to take a long walk before you get to the wizard's house. And sometimes it's going to be painful. And this is one of those painful situations. In some cases, some people were very sexually promiscuous, and at some point in their life, something occurred where they felt they wanted to seek religion. That's great. That's wonderful. If you mean it in your heart, that's great. That's wonderful. But understand this. If you didn't pay for your mistakes in your previous life before you did this, is going to happen. Are you prepared to deal with it? Or are you going to relapse into your promiscuous behaviors because you can't? Have you done the work? So back to the topic. A lot of these people, let's go to the people who are damaged. They haven't done the work. They're out here 20, 30, 40 years old and made 13 kids in 3 different households and 4, 5 baby mamas, whatever the case may be. And now they're up in their 40s and 50s and those kids are grown. These people have the nerve to get upset because their daughter gets pregnant at 13. They get upset because their son has made 2 or 3 girls pregnant before he even graduated high school and lost his basketball scholarship because he can't leave town to go to college because he got to take care of them babies. I'm talking to somebody today. And you have the nerve to get upset. This child has witnessed you with your legs up in the air, has witnessed you more times with your pants down than up, have witnessed people coming in and out your house, you telling them to call them auntie and uncle when they're actually your lovers. They have witnessed this. They have witnessed you mistreating the stepmother or the husband or the wife or whatever mate they're supposed to be legally bound with. They have witnessed you as well as your mate come in late at night or not come in at all for 2-3 days with some feeble excuse, smelling like somebody else, being dismissive. Your children witness the suffering of the other partner while you are doing what you need to do, and you have the nerve to turn around and get upset because this child follows in your footsteps and does it 2.0, takes it to the next level. Because that's what our kids do. They'll take our bad habits to the next level. And on the flip side, they'll take our good habits to the next level. So you got to be careful. And you're wondering why this child is doing it. And you could probably sit there and talk yourself blue in the face, but you're still doing it, still getting away with it. You're giving mixed messages to the child. You're giving mixed messages to the child. And you're wondering how come the child is doing the same thing that you're doing. Because you're sitting up there preaching something that you're not practicing. Especially you men with these girls, man. I mean, you've been out with half the county and made babies with the other half. But then when your girl comes in the world, all of a sudden you want to have her in church all day long. You're making her stay in school. You're analyzing what kind of children she plays with, who she talks to on the phone. You just playing helicopter dad like crazy. You playing Superman, Batman. You playing all the superheroes of one. The child can't breathe. What do you think is going to happen when she sees you still doing this stuff to the other partner that you married, to the other parent, seeing the suffering and everything else, and you're going to turn around and tell them to be sexually pure, but they see you get away with this shit all the time, and it's bad enough you're sitting up here putting all this pressure on this girl to be this, that, and other. She wants to breathe anyway, so how you think she's going to breathe? She's going to start sneaking out and spending time late and running around with men 10, 20 years older than her. And you have the nerve to get mad? What you getting mad for? It's the generational curse being repeated. And y'all be the main ones want to hit the streets and hire hitmen or do the job yourself. You ready to just take this Negro out. For what? Because you are that Negro. So I say this to say this. The only way that the generational curse is going to stop is you're going to have to stop your behavior in this regard. When it comes to sexual immaturity and you are the one that is guilty, you're going to have to fix yourself and you're going to have to stop so you can be an example to the people who come along, because that's the only way that you're going to prevent that curse from stopping. Other than that, they're going to follow in your footsteps, and like I said again, one level higher. Then you're going to suffer heartbreak, because by that time you're probably going to be too old, or you slowed down and you realize that something is not right. See, you don't want to see your children suffer the way you suffer, but you're still doing it. You're still doing it. You're still out here 40, 50 years old running the streets, but you're going to turn around and tell your son or your daughter that they need to stay in church and they need to be holy and virginity and this, that, and other. How can you preach something that you never practiced or barely understood? And that's another thing. You want to sit there and try to give them all these boundaries and all these restrictions about, and you're being illogical because you don't know what you're talking about. You're setting up all these rules that don't make any sense. They're overboard. Your child gets up to a certain age, they realize that. They know it's all bullshit. They know you're bullshit because you don't even follow those rules. How are you going to turn around and tell me something you don't do it yourself? And this does apply to parents. I'm sorry. If this hurts anybody's feelings, I don't care. Go ahead and put in the comments about honor thy mother and thy father. Go ahead and take that commandment out of context. I'll wait. Go ahead and take that commandment out of context. I'll wait. Because, see, I've been down the road of a parent not obeying the commandments and sitting up there throwing them in my face. But when I got old enough, I threw them right back. Okay? So go ahead and put that in the comments so we can have a discussion about that. Don't waste your time. If you're not providing an example, it doesn't matter what any kind of scripture you tell that child. If you're not providing an example, they're going to live the way you live. because they see you getting away with that shit and that you're having a good ass time. So they want to have a good time too. And the only way it's going to stop is you're going to have to change your ways. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Be blessed. And thank you for your support.